Buffalo should only be on wings and pizza. Buffalo cauliflower, guys. You wanted it, and I hate it. I'm not doing that crap. Buffalo cauliflower belongs in the garbage. But, like I promised, we're making cauliflower Latin way. I bought the frozen cauliflower because that's what most people would probably buy at home instead of ricing their own cauliflower. So here's the dry cauliflower, okay? Right in here. So what I did is that I thawed it out. I wrung it real quick so it's nice and dry, or dry enough. And then I'm gonna heat up my pan with a little bit of butter to sweat the onions, the garlic, some peppers. We're gonna have cumin, smoked paprika, some stewed tomatoes, and then we're gonna finish it with quinoa, okay? How's that sound? Heat, we're gonna go to medium-high heat. I'm gonna add a little bit of butter to my pan to start the onions. So I like using butter. You don't have to use butter. You use a little olive oil. Sometimes if you don't want your onions to burn and you don't want that milk fat caramelization that you get, you can cut it with a little bit of oil. I'm gonna add just a little tad. Doesn't need too much. The butter's melting. And I started with a hot pan. It's always good to start with a nice hot pan. Then I'm just gonna add the onions in there. I'm gonna add half the amount of onions. So that's about a half an onion. So I'm gonna finish it with a little avocado, lime juice, cilantro, and a fresh fried egg on top, right here, okay? So you can hear my onions are starting to sizzle. And I've got salt here, I've got my mise en place, my spatula. I like my onions to sweat and try to get a little caramelization on them before I add my peppers and my garlic, so my peppers and garlic don't burn, and I still have that nice pepper flavor to them. 2 tablespoons of red peppers, okay? It's sizzling nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my garlic and add some of it right now so it all starts to caramelize together. As you can see, it's I'm gonna add about a 1/4 teaspoon, okay? Yeah, you know, I like garlic, so my 1/4 teaspoon is a little heavier than yours. Now you've got to watch it so your garlic does not burn, okay? So I'm going to add my cauliflower, okay? And that was that whole bag I was telling you about. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of quinoa to this, okay? So these are pretty full tablespoons. Let's add 3, okay? I want to get a good cook on it. So I'm gonna add the tomatoes now, okay? So these are stewed tomatoes. I'm gonna add some of the liquid from the stewed tomatoes and then another tablespoon. That liquid's gonna really help bring it all out. I'm gonna add the cumin and the smoked paprika. That is about half a teaspoon. I like smoked paprika. And I'm only gonna use a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. Cumin can be very overpowering. See, they're cooking up right now. Look at that. Get a nice color to them. The smell is insane, okay? I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of salt or 3 pinches. Now remember, this is gonna get some fresh cilantro. I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh black pepper as I'm about to pull it off the heat. I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh lime juice to it. About a half a lime juice. Just needs a little acidity, okay? I'm gonna chop up my cilantro. Told you it was fresh, but this is one of those items you wanna add. So that's about a teaspoon, okay? And then see, now I mix this into it, and as I let it sit there, the cilantro, the lime juice, it's all gonna mix into it. All the little oils from the cilantro are gonna mix in with the cumin, the smoked paprika, the tomatoes, the nice garlic, the quinoa, and the cauliflower. And I'm gonna cut the avocado, okay? I'm gonna use half of avocado. My wife and I will probably enjoy this for lunch when she's done working. It's a beautiful avocado. So what I do is I'll just squirt right here without going through the flesh of the avocado. And then I'll take a spoon and then scoop it all out. All right, so final touches on our cauliflower dish that we're gonna be calling it Spanish cauliflower. Very important. You know how you always crack an egg and sometimes you go right over the stove, you crack it right in there and you're like, oh, it broke on me. Well, here's the best way to prevent that. One of the little tricks that we've been using in the kitchen for many years. You crack your egg into a bowl, okay? Crack it into a bowl. Now you walk over to your pan and very easily just slide it right in and it never breaks. See that? We're adding our final touches to our dish now. And as you notice, you don't hear splatter, you don't hear all this craziness. I always like to go a little low and slow on my eggs. That way I can kind of baste it. And if it's too low, then I just crank the heat just a little bit. But that way I get a perfectly cooked egg and it always looks pretty. Sometimes I like to go for the over easy egg. That's when you flip it and then flip it back just to get that nice little crust. It brings back childhood memories of this restaurant we used to go to. But as you see, I'm basting the egg real quick. Now I have a perfectly cooked egg, sunny side up. We're ready for plating. Top your egg with a little salt to get that little salt into the yolk. And here it is. Man, what a perfect egg. My egg skills are here. Little pinch of salt. There it is. Now this is cauliflower. None of that buffalo stuff, okay?